This video will show how to analyze a video of a falling ball in Tracker. First up, we'll open the video file. Just say OK at this point. We first need to select the frames that we want. So just grab the slider and slide it across until the ball just starts to leave the hand. Then right click on the slider and say set start frame to slider. Then go to the other end, drag this across, and as soon as the ball hits the ground, we'll take it just a little bit further, and then we'll just step it back a little bit. Yep, that's where we want it. Then just go right click, set end frame to slider. The next thing we do is set the scale. So if we click on here, and choose the calibration stick. Scroll in till you see the top of the ruler. Now notice here it says calibration stick A. Shift click to mark end 1. So we're going to press the shift button. It will show the tool and click right next to the top of the ruler. Okay, and it leaves that mark. You can let go of the shift, and then it says calibration stick A, shift click to mark N2. So we just go down to the bottom of the ruler and press shift, and with the tool I'm going to go right at the bottom here, and voila. So notice as I've drawn the line, it's running parallel with the edge of the ruler. Okay, so just drag it up till we find the scale, and we're going to change that to 1 meter. Okay, press enter. And you'll notice it says here set length to change scale, done. Set angle to change tilt. We don't have to because I pretty well lined it up as I did it, but you could slightly manipulate that value if you want it a little bit more perfect. So I'm going to zoom out by using my mouse wheel and have a look. I'm going to press this button to send the video back to the start point, and then we're going to set the coordinate axes. So if we click on that, go to the cross point, drag it up. We want it up near that ball. But let's zoom in and scroll up, and zoom in and scroll up and across, and put this point right in the center of the ball where you think the center is. Okay, and then we'll just go all the way down the bottom. We're going to go right to where the ball hits the ground, and we want it to line up with where the ball hits the ground. So that's out a little bit. So we can just go here, and it's probably about 0.8 out. So if I change that, press enter, maybe a little bit more, 9. Okay, that looks pretty close. So I'll zoom out again, and I will turn off the coordinate axes since they're all done, and I'll also turn off the calibration stick. So now we can start tracking the ball. I'll set the video back to the beginning. I will zoom in, go to the top where the ball is, and then I will click create and choose point mass. Just going to rename the point mass, call it golf ball. Enter. Okay, now that that's selected, read the information down here. It says golf ball selected, set mass on toolbar, shift click to mark. Okay, so I've got to try and do this right in the middle. So I'm going to shift, and notice the tool appears when I press shift, and I'm just going to find what I think is the center of the ball and press click. Okay, the ball moves, and I've got the center wrong again, but it doesn't matter. It's only a slight bit out. So again, it's moved a bit, so I press shift and I locate the center of the ball and click, and it moves again, and again I find the center and shift, click, shift, click, and so on. And the last one, okay. So let's zoom out again using the mouse wheel, and we'll run it and see what it looks like. So take it back to the beginning, press run. Okay. So now we're going to come over here and we're going to make two graphs. If we click here on the vertical axis, and we're going to change it to the Y position, so we now have a vertical displacement versus time graph. If we double click on this, we can come in and analyze. So it already has a pretty good line drawn through it, but we're going to make that invisible, and instead we're going to fit a trend line. So if we go to Analyze and Curve Fits, it's currently set to a straight line, but we need to make it a parabola. And notice we have an equation here, and we'll talk about that in class and how that associates with the second equation of motion from the syllabus. Now we can save this data. And call it, we'll say DT, distance time graph data. Yes, we'll just go over the top of that one. A neat trick, we could also copy an image of that screen. So it will copy that, and then you could copy and paste that into a Google Doc, for example. The other thing that we can do, and which we will do, is we can copy all this data and paste it into a spreadsheet and then do our graphing there, because I want to show you how to do that in spreadsheet as well. So let's close that. And then we're going to do a velocity time graph. So we choose the VY, velocity Y component, and we get roughly a straight line. So we can come in and double click, and again we'll turn off this line, make it invisible, and then we'll go into Analyze, Curve Fit, and in this case it's fitted a straight line. Okay, here's the equation for the straight line, and that corresponds to the first equation of motion from the syllabus, and we'll talk about that in class as well. And that's it.